Guys, I am super excited because today is Salem Day. So I am turning 40 tomorrow, and my husband surprised me with a trip to Salem and New York when we're done with Salem. We're spending 3 days in Salem, and then on Thursday, we're going to head over to my sister's in New York. I'm going to meet up with my family. So it's going to be a really fun trip. I'm going to take you along. Right now, I have an appointment to get my nails done because I needed them done before we leave, and the nail salon was nice enough to take me early. So I am waiting for my appointment time, which is in a couple minutes, to get these things fixed because they are grown out and completely long, and I cannot deal with these claws. So it is going to be a fun trip. I'm going to take you along, and we're going to have a blast. I'm so excited. So a little bit of a hang up with the nail salon this morning. I showed up at 9 o'clock for my appointment like I was supposed to have, and they never showed up, and the nail salon was closed. So I had to go somewhere else, and it was a little frustrating because I drove out of town for that appointment, but we are in business. I got the claws. We are good to go, and the car is packed. So let's get moving. So this is our hotel room, and it is just a small little room with a bed and a TV, a shower, and a loft. So I'm super excited. This is really all we need. And here is our bathroom. So it's super tiny, but beautiful. Look at that shower head. And then, now that I know that this exists, I need one of those for my makeup. No trip would be complete without incident. We have a flat tire. So now we have to go get it fixed. So minor delay here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vanessa. Happy birthday to you.
So we are back from Salem and I had such an amazing time. I got to see so many cool things, so many interesting shops, and of course, so much history. So what would it be if I didn't get to share all the fun things that I picked up with you? I try to be as respectful as possible while I was filming, so I might not have caught everything, but a lot of places didn't let you film, and then the places that did, they were really nice about it, but there was just a lot of people and it was really tight, and I was trying not to get like people in the videos. So I hope that you enjoyed what I did film, and let me show you what I picked up. So the one thing that I loved about being there is that every shop had tons of tarot cards. So I could not resist picking up some decks. So the first deck I got is this miniature deck of Gilded Tarot. And this is a deck by this is not focusing. Okay, so this is a deck by Ciro Marchetti, which is one of my favorite not designers, but artists. I love his decks. He has amazing decks, and this little tarot deck is living in my purse because I always have a purse deck with me. And before I was using my miniature Mary Hanson Roberts tarot. There we go. And so I swapped that out for this deck, and now I have something new in my purse. So that was really fun and exciting. And then I got another miniature tarot deck called the Salem Tarot. And this one is super cute as well. And so here are some of the cards. So there's the Fool. Here's the Five of Pentacles. Really interesting artwork. So that was pretty cool of a find. I'd actually never heard of this deck before. So a lot of the commercial decks, now see, so just like in yarn, there is commercial yarn and then there's like hand-dyed yarn. And it's the same with tarot decks. And if you noticed, I'm actually sitting in front of my witchy wall. And these are all my tarot decks. So here, this whole shelf is tarot. This whole shelf is tarot. This whole shelf is tarot. And this whole shelf is tarot. And they're stacked 3 deep. So there are 3 decks on every shelf. So I like to collect commercial decks as well, but for the most part, unique decks, which are the hand-dyed decks or the indie decks that I like to collect. So I thought it was really cool that I hadn't seen this Dilemma Tarot before, so I had to pick it up. Another deck that I got that I was kind of excited about is this 13 Tarot. So the 13 Tarot I have been looking at a lot online, and I've been wanting it for a while because it's this very dark gothic deck. So like here we go. So there's the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess. There we go. So very dark, very gothic looking. I love that I was able to find this deck in a store and that I didn't have to order it online, which was really, really neat because I have actually had this. I do that thing that we all do where we put things in our cart and then we never buy them. And this is one of the decks that I kept doing that with. So I was really happy to pick that up. I guess I should mention where we were staying. This is going to be very scattered and all over the place because I'm just going to pick up something and I will tell you about it and who knows where it came from. So the first place that we stayed at was the Cabot Lodge. And this was our micro hotel. And it was 7 minutes away in Beverly, Massachusetts, which was great because we didn't have to stay directly in Salem. We got to avoid traffic and go right on the outskirts. And the lodge was so nice. And it was in a little downtown area with its own shops and stuff. So it was almost like a separate Salem. And it was really, really, really cute. So that's where we stayed. And I did photograph that. Our bed, basically, we had a bed and a bathroom and that was it. So I was able to pick up this pretty cute postcard from where we stayed. Since we're on decks, I visited this shop called Hive and Forge, and it was my favorite store that we visited the whole time we were in Salem. This shop had so many original things. Like, a lot of the shops in Salem were kind of the same things over and over. So a lot of like statues and some jewelry and different things. And they didn't really have anything like unique that I hadn't seen before. And then I walked into Hive and Forge, and oh my God, it was like just amazing. And they have an online shop, but it doesn't even begin to touch the amount of things that they had in that shop. They had taxidermy, they had specimens, I almost bought a bat, like a what do you call it? Preserved, like a preserved bat, but I was a little afraid that I wouldn't be able to get him home without destroying him. So I didn't pick him up, but I still kind of want to call the shop and see if there is a way to get those to me without them being harmed, but we'll see. But what I liked about the store is that after going into store after store after store with all of these commercial tarot decks, we went into Hive and Forge and it had all indie decks and I was losing it. I was like, oh my God, I want one of everything. But I ended up picking up 2 decks, and one of the decks I picked up, I've been actually looking at online for a really long time, and it's by Tamed Wild. And it is the Wild Runes deck from Tamed Wild. And this is not a tarot deck. This is runes. So I have on and off in my life tried to learn runes. And if you don't know what runes are, actually I can show you. So runes are stones. Since I'm sitting in my witch room, everything is here next to me. So if you've ever seen the stones, usually runes are read on stones. I've been trying to learn, and it has just been so difficult for me, and I don't know why, for me to understand them. So what I found was a rune deck, and here are the backs, and here are the cards. And I can't believe that this is the first one I picked up because this is my favorite rune. So I do know this rune, and I know this rune very well because this is Wunjo or Wunyo, and it means joy and happiness and love and light and all of those good things. So what I like about this deck is, if I could flip the card, it has all the meanings on the back like a flashcard. This has to work. This is gonna work. This is gonna do it. So I was so excited to see this there. I was like, I can't believe they have this in the store, because I wasn't aware that this company wholesaled. So I definitely did not expect to see that. And it came with a book as well. So that was so fun. And I was so glad that I was able to pick that up. And then I got even more excited, like super excited, because do you guys remember I showed you this deck right here and told you that this deck by Threads of Fate is my absolute favorite deck. And I'll show you. I'm I'm like running out of room on my table. I'll show you that these cards look like this. So they're very beautiful. Cover my face up. There we go. So they look like that. Well, that deck has been discontinued. All of these decks are being discontinued. If you go on their website, threadsoffate.com, you will find that they are getting rid of all their decks and they're not carrying them anymore, which is so disappointing because they're so beautiful. And I had gone on there and wanted to buy the companion deck to this deck, and they sold out. Well, I go into the store, Hive and Forge, and they had them. They had the whole line. I couldn't bring them all home with me because they're $80 a deck. But I found the companion deck. This is the Shadow Edition, whereas the light one is the Journeyman Edition. Journeyer Edition. This one is the Shadow Edition, and it is just as beautiful as the other. So I'll open this for you if I can. Comes with a book, comes with an information card on all the different meanings. And then, guys, look at this deck. Look at this deck. There are the backs of them. They're gilded. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Just absolutely gorgeous. And unfortunately, this edition is sold out online and it is not on the website anymore. They do have a few different editions and they're just as beautiful. They're gorgeous. So if you're like looking at this deck, I would suggest you go now. And they have also a rose gold edition, which is also really pretty. And they did have that in the store, but like I said, I couldn't bring them all home. So let's see if I could put these together. So now I have both of these and they will live together on my shelf. And actually I'm not running out of room. I've got plenty of room, but I've got to rearrange some stuff here. Okay, so that's gonna go there. This is my little gargoyle bell. These bells I got at a store that we have here locally, and they're by an artist, and they are protection. If you didn't know, gargoyles are protectors. So we'll put him right there for now. Okay, so while we're on tarot decks, I wanted to share with you a deck that I bought that I ordered before we went to Salem, but it was here waiting when I got back. And look at, I haven't even opened it yet. All right, so before I left, and I'm gonna share, since it was my birthday, and this whole trip was for my birthday, I was given some gifts and I ordered some stuff for myself, and they're all witchy. So I'm gonna share with you these things, even though I didn't purchase them in Salem. So I bought myself off of Etsy. It's called Nocturnal Garden Lenormand. So here's what it looks like. And I'm trying to collect more indie Lenormand decks because there's really just not a lot of commercial decks for Lenormands. There just really isn't. And indie deck makers are making these gorgeous, gorgeous decks. So here are the backs of the cards, little butterflies. And just look at this. That's the writer. The writer is messages. There is the clover. I had to look for, I thought it was the clover, and then I looked at the picture and it confused me for a second. So there's the clover. The ship. the house. I mean, just gorgeous. Oh, the garden is like Venus flytraps. That's pretty cool. So I bought this deck, like I said, off of Etsy, and I was so excited to see that it got here. I can't wait to use it. And it comes with a little book as well, which was really nice of them to include. So I upped my tarot collection by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks. Isn't that awesome? So now I have almost 100 decks. I'll have to recount them, but 100 decks. Oh, and for my birthday, my best friend got me the Guillermo del Toro deck, which is also an amazing deck based off of all of Guillermo del Toro's movies, which if you're a Guillermo del Toro fan, like I am, he has done Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy. I mean, he has his hand in everything dark and mysterious, and I love him. I would say he is like, I know like Stephen King is the king of horror, people say, but Guillermo del Toro, man, watch out for him. So they upped my tarot deck collection by 7 tarot decks, which is amazing. All right, let's see what else I got. Oh, so since we're on tarot, before I left, I bought myself a ritual planner. And ritual is WRITUAL. So this is the undated version. I did go ahead and I did order the 2023 full version in hardcover, but I wanted something to finish out the rest of the year. So I also got the undated version. And this planner has a space. You can choose 1 card readings or 3 card readings. I like to choose or do 3 card readings. So if you notice, there's these 3 boxes here, and then you have lines that you can write, you know, like what they mean. And those boxes are the perfect size for ritual planners, tarot stamps. Yeah, that's right. These little tarot stamps fit directly in that book. Yep. And it has all of them too. It's got, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 26. Yeah. So that was, there's 20. Why is it only major arcana? I'll have to look into that and see if there's like minor arcana. But anyway, so you see that goes in here. So I'm super excited to get using that and start documenting my daily readings, because if you've known, I've been doing the daily divination with you guys, and sometimes I forget, like as the day goes on, I forget, like a day will go on and then it'll be like the day after or a day after that, and I'm like, ooh, something just came up. Didn't I draw that card? Like I feel like I drew that card, and because I didn't write it down, I don't have anything to reference. So this is really going to help with that, and I'm really, really excited to start using this. Okay, what else? So we did go to a few different shops. There was this shop called I think it was called Vampire Freaks or something similar to that. And they had this gorgeous dress from Killstar. And Killstar is a gothic clothing company that I absolutely love and I follow and I adore them. And they had this beautiful, like form-fitting, like long sleeve, flowy sleeve dress. And it had like this vampire collar that came around, and it didn't fit me. Was very upset. And it was funny because the medium, I'm like in between sizes. So like the medium was too small, but the large was perfect, but it was too long. It was like they expected, like if you were a large that you grew 10 inches. It was really dumb. But what I did end up getting that made me happy was a little matching pajama set for me and my baby Reggie. So if you know anything about me, you know that I love onesies. I hang around in onesies all the time, and this one is hooded, so it's got the hood. And now Reggie has a little matching outfit to go with me so that we can hang out and chill together. And it's super cute. It's ghosts and little pumpkins. So, well, jack-o'-lanterns, because they kind of have like scary, creepy faces on, which is fine. So that was really exciting. And then the first day I was walking around with my beautiful black dress and my hat that I got from Free People, which is an online like boho type website. It's an amazing website, but it is a little pricey. And I was able to use Afterpay. If you guys have heard me say Afterpay is like my favorite thing in the world. But needless to say, it was amazing, but it got really hot. I don't even know how. It was like 66 degrees and I was sweating. So I went and I ended up buying, I didn't grab the t-shirt. So I went and I ended up buying a t-shirt. So then I walked around in leggings and a t-shirt for half the day. And then the sun went down and I got really cold. So I ended up going and buying a sweatshirt. So here is my Salem, Massachusetts sweatshirt. It is so soft. It is just like excellent quality. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I've been wearing it in the house and wearing it everywhere I go. And it's amazing. And then we stopped at another shop and I ended up seeing this sweatshirt and was like, well, I want that one too. So I got this Salem one, Wish City, Massachusetts. So this is a really nice one as well, like excellent quality, just so fun. And then we visited this little shop that was like a consignment boutique, and they had this outfit that I had to get. I was absolutely in love. It's a sweatsuit set and it's got skulls. So there is the sweatshirt. And then here is the matching pants. So it was just fun. Like the fact that like all of the clothes were gothic and all of the shops had like skulls, and even the boutiques that were like fancy boutiques had like sweatshirts with witches on them. And it was just so nice. And I'm like, and then, but really though, it was just amazing. I ended up going to so many beautiful shops, and here is one of the earrings that I bought. So this is a company that I absolutely love called Seeds of Light. I've worked with this company before. I used to carry them in my shop when I had a shop, and they're a husband and wife duo, and they make these beautiful gemstone amulets and stuff. So every one of their pieces of jewelry is made for an intention. And this intention is love and harmony. So it's got amethyst and rose quartz on it. And those are two stones. So it says here, rose quartz, amethyst, and natural quartz crystal. Planetary influence, Venus and Neptune, and the 4th and 6th chakra. Rose quartz and amethyst are used together. When rose quartz and amethyst are used together, the direction of energy is transformed into awakened consciousness to self-love. When worn, the wearer will initiate a time of nurturing and forgiveness, reprogramming the heart to love oneself. So I had to get those. Those were absolutely beautiful. And then another shop we visited had beautiful jewelry in it. And I could not walk away without this pendant. So let's see if it'll focus on me. This whole focusing thing is like really a pain in the butt. But I actually have this design on my wall. I have a plaque that's the same design, and it's one of my favorites that is hanging on my wall. And they made a necklace and it has moonstone. So this is now like my favorite piece of jewelry. I absolutely love it. I've been wearing it nonstop, and I was so happy that I found it. And the shop we went into was great. Like everywhere you went, people were just happy and like excited. And I don't know, it was just like really great vibe. So I picked up a Salem pin. I did visit the Salem Witchboard Museum, and I picked up a pin that actually, it's in my purse. I forgot to grab it, but it looks just like this. It's a Ouija board planchette, and it says Salem Witchboard Museum on it. So I got that. I got a Salem magnet. 1692. Come on. 1692 is the year that the witch trials happened. So I got a magnet, and okay. So when I came home, I had a couple gifts waiting for me. And one of them, like I said, was the Salem Witch Trials Lifetime magazine, which is super cool. Brandon's mom bought this for me, and it was so great because I was looking for a book that would kind of explain like what happened with the witch trials. And there were many books, but some of them were like too big. Some of them were just not what I was looking for. And then I come home and Brandon's mom had found a Salem Witch Trials Museum magazine. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I can't wait to read this and learn all about there's even places in the magazine. Let me show you, that I looked at and I was like, I went there. I saw it. Because we visited, and there's actually footage of it that I did shoot for you guys. The memorial, not the witch board, the Salem Witch Trials Memorial, where they have a memorial stone for all of the victims. And they have a picture of that in this magazine. I can't find it, but they have a picture of that in this magazine. And I was looking through the magazine and I was like, oh my God, I was there. Like I saw that in person. So that was super, super neat. And then my best friend, Tom, obliged me because I told him that I wanted a tarot reading board. Like, what would you call that? Just like a board. Like I wanted a tarot board to read on. So he is a woodworker, and he went ahead and said, I see your request and I will raise you one tarot board and I will make it amazing. And he did. So this is my tarot reading board. All of the stones are amethyst. They're different colors of the different elements because he painted behind the stone before he mounted it, and the color shines through the amethyst. So it is 5 amethyst stones in correspondence to the different elements. You have earth, air, fire, and water, and spirit. And then if this is like too busy for me to work on, I can flip it and I have this beautiful blank side. So oh my God, I couldn't even, I just wanted a board and for him to paint it, clear coat it and just give it to me. And he just built me the most amazing board ever. And no one in the world has one like it. And I love him for that. I absolutely am so excited to use this. And lastly, what trip wouldn't be complete if I didn't visit the yarn store? So the yarn store was great. Not only did it have witchy stuff, but it also had yarn. They had hedgehog fibers. They had La Bien-Aimée. There was La Bien-Aimée yarn that was so freaking gorgeous that I had my hands on. It was beautiful blues and purples and pink speckles. And I was going to get it. And my husband, the voice of reason, says, Vanessa, if you get that yarn, you're not going to knit it for a few years. And he was right. So I put it back. And I know that that's not what we do, but he is right. I have so many projects that at this point, buying yarn is just throwing it in stash. So I really need to be conscious of what I'm purchasing. So what I did purchase was this cross stitch project of the Lover's Tarot card that they have there. And I'm not a needlepoint or cross stitcher, but I do know how, and I'm really excited to try this and just spend some time with it and get this little tarot card out on my wall. So this person that does this pattern, I went online. It actually says innocentbones.com. So I found a, what do you call it? Like a maker on Etsy who, I forgot what she's called. Wicked Stitcher, or I'm not sure. I'll have to link her shop down below. But I found through a friend of mine an Etsy shop that does all cross stitch patterns that are all witchy, like all of them. And now I want to start cross stitching all the things for my walls and all the witchy things to put on my walls. So we had so much fun. And then after we visited Salem for 3 days, on Thursday, we visited Circle of Stitches. And then after we left Circle of Stitches, we went to my sister's house in New York. And I did not get footage of that because that footage was basically us sitting on a couch, yelling at my nephew to stop jumping around. And they did throw me a birthday party, and I just really was in the moment with my family, and I got to visit and see my niece for the first time and hold my nephew, who they're both babies right now. And it was such a good time. So I cannot thank my husband and my sister enough, and everyone that helped like bring this vacation together. I had such a good time, and like my life is complete now that I visited Witch City. I want to go back so bad. So I know that when we were there, they were like complaining about how in October it gets insanely crazy starting October 1st, but it's kind of their fault because they keep holding awesome events. So like on October 1st, which I wish I could go back for, but I can't, is the Vampire Ball. Yeah, a vampire ball. And it's hosted by that store, Vampire Freaks, that I was telling you about. And I really want to go. It looks like so much fun, but I'm not going to be able to go. But for stuff like that, like, oh my God, it was so much fun. So I hope that you enjoyed the video I put together and seeing everything I purchased. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.